Good day. My name is DewanayakiPerumal, and my student ID is E70209250009. Today, I will be presenting my mini project on the assessment of pre-operational and concrete operational thinking based on Piaget's theory of cognitive development. This study focuses on understanding how children at different developmental stages think and reason, especially in relation to the concept of conservation. Conservation refers to the understanding that quantity remains the same even when its appearance changes. For this mini project, I selected two participants. The first child is 5 years old, representing the pre-operational stage, and the second child is 8 years old, representing the concrete operational stage. Both children come from the same family background, which helps minimize environmental differences and allows a clearer comparison of cognitive development. The data collection was conducted in a quiet and comfortable home environment to ensure that the children felt relaxed and could respond naturally. 3 different conservation tasks were used: conservation of quantity, conservation of liquid, and conservation of solid. Each task was carried out using simple materials such as buttons, water, glasses, and clay. In the first task, which is conservation of quantity, I used 2 rows of buttons with an equal number. Initially, both children agreed that the rows had the same number of buttons. However, when one row was spread out to make it look longer, the younger child believed that the longer row had more buttons. This shows that the child was influenced by visual appearance rather than actual quantity. In contrast, the older child correctly stated that both rows still had the same number, showing a better understanding of conservation. In the second task, which is conservation of liquid, equal amounts of colored water were poured into 2 identical glasses. After confirming that both were equal, 1 glass of water was poured into a taller and thinner container. The younger child said that the taller glass had more liquid because the level appeared higher. This again shows reliance on perception. However, the older child understood that the amount of liquid did not change, even though the shape of the container was different. In the third task, which is conservation of solid, I used clay. 2 equal pieces of clay were shown to the children, and then 1 piece was reshaped into a longer form. The younger child believed that the longer piece had more clay because of its length. On the other hand, the older child correctly identified that both pieces still had the same amount. From these observations, clear differences in cognitive development can be seen. The younger child, who is in the pre-operational stage, tends to rely on appearance and perception. The child focuses on one aspect, such as length or height, and ignores other important factors. This reflects characteristics such as centration and the inability to mentally reverse actions. In contrast, the older child demonstrates logical thinking and is able to understand that changes in appearance do not affect quantity. The child can mentally reverse the transformation and consider multiple aspects at the same time. These abilities are known as reversibility and decentration, which are key characteristics of the concrete operational stage. In conclusion, conservation is not an ability that children are born with, but one that develops gradually over time. This study clearly shows the transition from perceptual thinking to logical reasoning as children grow. Understanding these differences is important for educators, as it helps in designing appropriate learning activities based on the child's developmental stage. Thank you.